friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. Today we're going to be working in my flippin' Halloween journal. Now I created this for hashtag halloweenjournalchallenge, which is hosted by Kia Creates. And there are all kinds of different creators all over YouTube participating. I will link all of the information down below, and you can check out what everyone's doing with these prompts. It's a really fun October set of prompts, and we have both a light and dark edition. So you can pick what you want to do. I'm going to try to do the whole thing, but I'm running out of October. So let's try to hustle this morning. I'm going to see how many I can get done. I'm going to start on the light side here because we left off on Spooky Playlist. I'm at the very beginning. The last time I did it. So today I'm going to do pumpkin spice and hopefully cozy layers as well. We'll see how far I get. So for pumpkin spice, I of course was thinking of coffee drinks and all that sort of thing. So I found, some stickers, and I found some images that would kind of go along with that, with pumpkins. Look at those nice little, probably apple cider donuts there. And then I was thinking, maybe I want to do something a little different than just like having the autumnal drink, which I love. But I started thinking, what if it was like a new Spice Girl? Like there was this new character, Pumpkin Spice, that showed up. And I was never like a huge fan of the Spice Girls, but I just thought it would be so fun to do something like that. So let's see. So here's the page that I am on. This is a magazine, so you just see what was there before. I'm not going to paint it to start. At least I don't think I am. You never know. But I'm going to see what I can find to go on here. I was going to illustrate pumpkin spice, but then I thought it might be fun to get some images and create my character. And I really like this lady here. This is just from a Land's End catalog, but I love her expression, and I do love her pose too, with the one leg out like that and the hand in the pocket. That could be cute. The other picture I really liked is this one here, and it's also from Land's End, but it's really cute. And she's even drinking, it could be a pumpkin spice drink. So I'm kind of going between these two, and what I thought we could do was take some of my pumpkin images that I have and create an outfit. So like make this a big pumpkin skirt and just kind of pumpkin it up. So I think I'll cut out both ladies, and I'll start cutting out the pumpkins. I have this picture too, which is like painted gourds, and it's kind of like messy. I'm not even sure which way it goes. This way? I don't know, whatever way you look at it, I suppose. But I thought this would be an interesting pattern because it is pumpkin. You can really see this one here. And I thought I could cut out a shirt or, something from this if I needed it. That could be like the material. And then I have these little pumpkins. I'm not sure if they'll work because, they're all kind of cut off, and I was looking for whole pumpkins. I've got some nice ones here. This one here would be really nice. And then I have these little, like, pumpkin pastry puffs, which look amazing. So that's what I'm working with. I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut these ladies out, and let's see if we can figure out what we want to have in the background. I think this is going to probably be a one-page spread. So I'll probably do pumpkin spice, and then our next one was cozy layers. So I'll probably put cozy layers here because I don't think I need a 2-page for the pumpkin spice one. So let me cut this out, and I'm going to switch to voiceover because now I'm going to get quiet while I'm thinking and processing, and then I'll be back to chat in a little bit. Okay, so forget what I said about not painting the page because that is exactly what I'm going to do. And not just one page, but 2 pages. At this point, I was thinking I would just use the same paint on both pages because I have pumpkin spice for my first prompt, and the second prompt is cozy layers, so I figured these colors could work for both of those prompts. Then, as I'm waiting for those pages to dry, I'm going to look at my characters and figure out, how am I going to make some pumpkin sort of clothing for them. I knew I wanted this lady to be wearing a big pumpkin skirt. It has those like ribbon stripes going down the side, and I just loved it. I don't know if it's like working as a skirt per se, but it's fun nonetheless. And then I wanted to just lighten up the background because it was so dark that when I put these people on it, they kind of disappeared. So I just lightened that up. And now I've changed my mind and decided not only do I want to do a 2-page spread for pumpkin spice, but I'm going to use both of these ladies. I'm going to put them both on there. And then I was thinking, well, maybe this is a whole contest to see who will become pumpkin spice. And everyone showed up and put on some pumpkin clothing or costumes or whatever they wanted, and they're trying out for the part to join the Spice Girls. So here are the 2 contestants. They're both donning some pumpkin hats and some pumpkin clothing. I needed more pumpkins, so I went and got a flower and vegetable magazine, and I'm cutting out more little pumpkins because we're going to make those little pumpkin patches. So she has pants on that have these pumpkins sewn all over them. And I wanted one for the shirt, so I'm just going to trim that because I do want it to still look like the jacket is over the t-shirt. So probably would have been easier to trim it before, but I'm trimming it while it's on there. Trying to make sure that, I don't trim too much. Then I thought I'd put a little pocket over here for her hand. So there's a little mini pumpkin pocket. And let's see, what am I up to now? Oh yes, I still had that gourd picture that I really liked, and I was going to cut some pants out of it and glue them onto the girls, but I decided to just add little pieces from it. So almost like a little pocket and then a little shirt. And now I'm just going to add the little stitching marks so you can tell that these little pumpkins are patches. And you can tell me which girl you would vote for in the comments if you would like to vote for pumpkin spice. And then I wanted to write who will become, but I wrote the next pumpkin spice. And I kind of didn't like the way that sounded because it sounded like there was already a pumpkin spice. And now there's the next one. So I'm kind of thinking about that as I keep making the page. Because I'm like, why did I write the next pumpkin spice? But let's add some more pumpkins while we think about it. So I have this little stamp, just popping that around. And then I have this carved eraser. I did not make it. But it has this cute little bear with his drink order. And I thought, that goes with pumpkin spice for sure. Then we'll add some more drinks in there. And then I have these glitter Posca markers. And I wanted to color in where it says pumpkin spice so it kind of stand out a little more. And then I thought, well, I'll make some squiggles around the page. And I'll add a little pumpkin sauce or whatever to the top of that whipped cream. When they drizzle a little bit of something on your drink on the whipped cream. So little pumpkin spice on there. And then I thought, well, let's just outline the girls because I did want them to stand out from the background. And now I'm trying to fix what I wrote before. So now it will say, who will become the next Spice Girl? Pumpkin Spice. And then I'm adding some lines, which didn't quite show up, but they're almost like these rays of light beaming out. I just decided to keep adding more and more. And then I decided to add some lyrics. And I wrote, if you want to be my nutmeg. And I know that is really silly. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm just going with the pumpkin spice sort of thing. And even though there's pumpkins everywhere, do you know that there's no pumpkin in pumpkin spice? It's called pumpkin spice because it contains like all of the spices that you would put in like a pumpkin pie, but it doesn't actually have pumpkin in it. So sometimes when you go to buy pumpkin spice coffee and you're looking for a pumpkin flavor, you may be disappointed because it tastes like cinnamon or nutmeg, and it doesn't taste like pumpkin. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because, I don't know, I always thought pumpkin spice had pumpkin in it, but it actually doesn't. So that does it for that prompt. Now we're going on to cozy layers. And I wanted to have a little bear that is getting all layered up. Now, you know bears hibernate for the winter, but this bear is out and about collecting and harvesting whatever they need, foraging throughout the fall so they can be prepared to sleep through the winter. And they wanted to layer up, but they're not used to doing that. It's just something they've seen people doing. They thought they would give it a try. So they put on this big, oversized sweater layer with like a little shirt underneath, and they have a cap. And at first I was going to just have the little paws coming out of the bottom of the sweater like it was a huge sweater. But then I decided to give them little corduroy pants and socks. They're not wearing shoes, but they are wearing like some fuzzy socks. And then we'll just try to stick with the autumny sort of hues and colors to color all of the clothing here. We want some browns and oranges, yellows, a little bit of green, a little bit of red, just kind of all the colors. And it's definitely layer weather right now. The days are starting off like really crisp, and then they have been warming up pretty good around here. So it's like you start the day with a sweater, middle of the day is a t-shirt, and then a sweater again as the sun begins to set. So it's definitely cozy layer time. So I put the first coat on, and then once that dries, I can go back in and add a little bit of detail. I just wanted to highlight some of the lines in the corduroy and color in the buttons and a little bit more shadow details. Just a pretty simple design though. I'm not going to add too many details, just a little bit. Oh, and I didn't forget to draw the bear's paws. The idea is that the sleeves are so long that you can't see them. So they're like waving, but all you see is this big sleeve. Now here we go. Last time I used one of my old gel plate painty papers. I wound up covering the whole thing with paint. So will it happen again? I don't know. I mean, I do know. But at this point in the video, I didn't. Like, I never know. I never know how it's going to turn out. I'm just gluing as I go, and then sometimes I change my mind, paint over the whole thing. You never know. And I realized that I could combine the two prompts in a way. I could have, you know, fallen leaves on the right, and I could have cozy layers on the left, and they could sort of go into each other. You know, they just work really well together. So I have this layer here with the gorgeous tree with all the leaves on the ground, and then I can add my painty paper. My painty paper is pretty thick though, so the part where it goes in the middle, it wasn't really creasing into that middle, folding into that middle, so I have to trim that so that way the book can open and close. Then I just found more pictures of leaves, just adding those, layering those on top. And then I wanted the pages to, you know, kind of blend into each other. So I continued the painty paper on the left. I really loved this orange gingham sort of paper. It reminded me of, you know, maybe having a picnic in the fall if it's warm enough. And also of a nice fall blanket. So let's get this thick painty paper out of the way. And then we can add this little gingham layer. And I'm using my favorite glue stick right now. It's I think you say it caccioina. I think it's Italian, but it smells like almonds. It's very gooey, and it's also not inexpensive. It's a bit pricey, so it's a treat I get once in a while. But the thing I like about it is that you can move the images around for a while after you glue them. Like, you have time to move them if you need to. They don't stick immediately. But it is a very sticky, gooey glue, so it may not be for everyone. I have these little wooden cutouts from the Dollar Tree. I think I got those last year, and I don't know if I've used them. So I thought, hey, I got some leaves. Let's glue those on. And then I had these words here that I collected last year. So I thought, that goes. Goes with the whole theme. And then this nice big red maple leaf, I wanted to put that on the page so it looks like the bear is holding the stem. So I'll trim the stem, and I'm hoping it looks like it just kind of disappears right into that sleeve. And I thought, the leaf looks good for both of these pages, but also it would be a great place to write the prompts on. It's a nice big space. I can get my white gel pen and do some writing on there. And just remember, if you do use a gel pen, make sure you give it plenty of time to dry. Okay, and that does it for today's pages. So we were able to get a pumpkin spice page done with our girls. And I forgot to point out, but I did add in some little orange kind of cheeks there, so they're almost like some pumpkin makeup. And you can see this where I put some of that orange watercolor metallic paint. You can see the shine on the page. There's a lot going on. Maybe somebody spilled their pumpkin spice coffee on these pages. Isn't that almost what it looks like? And I just wrote grande pumpkin spice latte. Oh, and I was thinking, what would the bear say right there? So if you have something you can think of that should be in that word bubble, let me know. And then next we have our cozy layers and fallen leaves pages. And I added some detail onto the socks there because I wasn't sure if they looked like socks or if they looked like boots. So I figured if I put a little design on there with some leaves, then maybe they look more sock-ish. And then I just outlined the leaf with this white gel pen, which is now nice and dry. And then over here, I outlined these words with one of my mild liner markers. And I just feel like that helps it kind of blend into the leafy background a little bit. And then you can see I outlined with my white gel pen the leaves here to make those pop out. Oh, and I added a little fox as well, sleeping in the leaves down there. So that does it. Those are my pages for today. Next, I'll be flipping this over and doing some spooky prompts. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you to Kia for coming up with these prompts. It's been so much fun. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you again soon.